Did you know that in four different foreign states, U.S. Embassy has closed because they're not paying them enough money, in parentheses? I know what happened. They keep leading people to believe that they're going to go live a good life regardless if we have a place or not program. And when we are meditating and doing something of another project, you come up and you get on the machine and you're not elated chaplain, and we can fix that. And we're going to have to use our system to keep it open because that's why we cannot let sick people over here from foreign state. These places are in China on Wall Street. They give out financial, and you go to California, and basically you are being told to work to keep yourself busy so you just won't go somewhere and die. In Japan on Wall Street, in parentheses, the Asia program, we know that a lot of people had moved from Asia to Georgia that was sick and they got caught. And we thank God that there is a lot of elaborate reasons why we put it to the goat. And we know that Georgia has a lot to do with church out. And we know that it's not occurrence and it was cleaned up properly. The ground needs to be cleaned. In State Croix, where mixed people are going to Nigeria for the church, you know that they're lazy and they just want to party. And it's not anything that you taught or didn't teach. They just are like that. And they sat around, raised their children. They won't take their children to open programs. You all, they have SeaWorld in Nigeria in that area. And they didn't want the children to go to Midian area either to learn what it was that they was doing. And people just want a phenomenal austere measurement. When you look up, you have to be of the sun. And everybody don't have the elective to give out something that is pure. And you know when you are supposed to use something. You know when you have the right sound pull out. You know when something is yours, when it pull out back to you. And we don't have any later career. We don't have time to be able to see how constructive it is. God said, let yourself not be betrayed. We don't have no one saying, oh, well, you could use us. And then when someone comes and plucks the city, we realize that there is not no foundation to use. And that's the real reason why this non-denominational church will be hiding their stuff in Catholic, because we keep getting questions about mainstream and financial, and we know that we are some good people to give you answers, and now you're trying to test that. People do that. They want to know how something is made. Just don't ask anybody for anything. And then when you get up and work and you pay for it to save your money from your government assistance funding, because that's all you have, that's the only two. You realize that you have a form and you go buy your own stuff, regardless if it is the right plan or not, to show up to church in shorts and a shirt with a pair of boots on and a hat, and just do what it is that you do. And they're not going to tell you that you're improperly dressed. They're going to look at you and say that you're the sign of rebellion. And I'm going to continue to keep myself together about that. In Jokoi, Japan, that's the second U.S. Embassy, which is number 4 on my list that I can talk to you about. We still have a lot of hope. Was it individuals that are low heap and they keep sending their children to folks' house to get taken care of, and it has not stopped. And then you come here and you be reluctant in a relationship, and you get pregnant, you have a baby, and keep sending your baby to that person's house, looking for service. When if this was the kingship, where is the natural service? And you don't pay for the stuff that it is that you do. Your child come here elated and very upsetting. And education is not what it takes to be right. It's just that you don't have anything to be upset about or provocation, and it be a lot of conversations about the quotation, "You're a man." Of all of the esteem that I have ever seen Jernigan, because I have my certificate in Hollywood to give news and also in Beverly Hills, you realize that God gave you a force and form of reality, and people take change where they want to take change. And then you know that you can get a cup of water because that was already done today. And I see what she's saying. So we've had something in our lives. And, I had heard a pastor and his wife say, at least we're not eating pork. And they look like they're futuristic kids. And they're very innocent and they're very humble. I know that There is nothing that can obtain you from being secure in whatever it is that you don't want to use in this particular subject. And we can get on those systems to see how we can masturbate making money to support them. Because they got together in Florida and they started struggling. Because there was in their urban community asking people for donations, preaching the word of God. That's one measurement. That's the only thing you get. And then you pay your taxes, and they just got tired of, you could have went and bought your own church, not getting the support they needed from the government to get a property, a lot, and the lot cost $300,000, so they didn't have the money then. And Georgia banged out for them, and non-believers gave them money to sit at their church, and they even have a 5 a.m. service on Sunday, which is a private document service, and we want you to control your creativity, because one of these Sundays we will get to you, even if it is an elaborate song. So that's $500,000 that they can get for this week. And I realized that I'm gonna have to track it too. And I said, well, I need a house, and I know that you can get a house for $800 a month, and Monica's not gonna be upset because if it fails, then I can come back home. And it's upsetting for me to start something and then I get there and it's elusive and he's not according to anything. God said that's a natural element that Shirley is holding on to because someone is trying to make her give that up. And you realize that you're not informed of these things. So we don't speak about another two-word culture because it's not where you can go or how you can plant there. It's just how God has secured her in her own anomaly. This is Real Talk. This is Pastor Shirley Knox Sheard. Of course, it's not anything that I can blow up. I'm going to start doing some different projects that my community wanted me to do. They said they want to see some more videos, music, so I will be able to put praiseworthy and go to the studio, film some praiseworthy songs, and just keep myself, excuse my phone, being elated and see how you are able to build an implementation. But I know I humbled myself and I said, God, I speak it into existence. In the Old Testament, you say that, and I know that I have a numerical amounts of numbers that I have touched, and I thank God for that. And whatever esteem they need, I know one day I will be there. And I thank God for giving us the masters that we do have. And I want you to know that this church now has a work support team that can be system, and it's not me calling you on the phone. Basically, it is a SAP order that they use, and they're very intelligent. And you can come up with a team and talk to people on the team, and then basically they can get what it is that they need from there. Because we're starting it off the template of people coming to the church, and 800 people have showed up. God help us to be able to keep ourselves reluctant. And excuse me, when you clap, you know that I have to speak on my predicament document, but I want you all to know that if you would like to continue to keep these messages going to you, subscribe to the channel, and you're welcome to do that. Comment where you need to comment at, regardless if it is something that is in path for me to answer. I thank you so much for giving me time to be able to see those things.